Hello everyone and welcome back to Paper Peony. I'm Kimberly Jones and I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up. Today I have for you another painted lavender sample that I have created using the fold and fluff technique that I have created. I've never seen it done before, but I did want to imitate Flower Soft, and if you look at my previous tutorials, I actually have a tutorial just on the technique itself. It's pretty simple, and I've already got it pre-done here. So this particular tutorial is going to be on how to create this card. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, here is the painted lavender stamp set. If this is your first tutorial to see using this. And I love it. It's photopolymer. It has a whole bunch of different images. The dies that coordinate with this will cut out all of these images, but it also has a couple of other sprigs of things that you can add to various cards. I love that. And then we're going to use Attention Shoppers. This is such a fun stamp set. It is found in the annual catalog as well, or shopping just generic products on my Stampin' Up website. All of these items go in the little shopping cart, but we're going to use the word thanks. I really like this font and it worked perfectly for this card. The look that I was aiming for. Okay, so I went ahead and mounted all my stamps, getting ready for this. I'm bringing in my silicone mat, and the first thing we're going to do is stamp the lavender image. And I have a piece of basic white, and it is measured at 3 by 3 3/4. Okay, 3 by 3 3/4. And you're going to just place that where you're going to stamp. I'm using Gorgeous Grape for my lavender because the other, the fluff is in Fresh Freesia and Highland Heather. So I wanted a little bit of a darker background. So I'm bringing in my Gorgeous Grape and I'm just going to ink this bunch of lavender. And you're just going to put this kind of like up in center. And then you're just going to kind of do a little side step stamping right there to make it kind of a dimensional bouquet. Okay. All right. And then you're going to bring in your stems, and you're going to use Pretty Peacock for this one. And you're going to bring in the stems, or ink the stems up. And you're just going to come in kind of into that bouquet. Okay, like that. You can go ahead at this point and stamp the word thanks, because I also did that in Pretty Peacock as well. And then for the butterflies, I stamped in Blueberry Bushel. So I'm going to bring this up, stamp those butterflies, and just kind of stamp them off to the left upper corner. So now we have our stamping done. Okay. Now after you get the stamping done and it's dry, then you're going to take a blending brush and crumb cake. This is an older ink pad, but I'm going to tell you, when you purchase our ink pads, they last forever. And we have reinkers that help reink or moisten the ink pad if it ever dries out. So there's really, you'll never have a reason to order an ink pad after you've ordered one. Okay, and you're just going to come in and kind of age that white a little bit with this crumb cake. And you can go as dark or as light as you want. I just didn't want stark white. And because my inside is also a white insert, I'm going to go ahead and kind of age that a little bit too while I'm at it. And I'll go over, I want to say this is a 3 by 4 for the inside. Okay. So now I'm ready to put this to the side. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so now that we have this stamped, now we're ready to mount it on our Pretty Peacock. The Pretty Peacock is going to be, I want to say, it's 1/4 of an inch thicker. So this one is 3 1/4 by 4. So this was, yes. So this, the white was 3 by 3 3/4. Okay. I think. I keep second guessing myself. That's right. Okay. So now you're just ready to glue this down flat to the pretty peacock. Let me move this up so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. If you've seen my previous video doing this, you're going to see that I'm doing this the right way this time, because you want to save your gluing your fluff down till last, because it takes a while for it to dry and adhere to your card. So we're going to do that. Then we can go ahead and add our bow, and I'm using the iridescent striped ribbon that we have, and I'm just tying a bow because it's iridescent. I love this iridescent stripe in here because it kind of grabs to whatever color you're using, and it just adds so much beautiful it complements is what I'm trying to say, whatever color you're using. Okay, so you're just going to tie a bow. And I am not a professional when it comes to tying bows. I'm just going to be the first person to tell you that. You know, it is what it is. We all as crafters have our strong points, and this is not one of mine. So, and you're going to want it small enough to go across the bottom front. Okay, and then you're just going to cut it. Let's see. I had my scissors here, and now I can't find them. They're there. Okay. And these are just generic scissors. We do have paper snips that are just amazing, and they will cut through ribbon just perfectly. Okay, and then you're going to use a glue dot to glue this down. So a roll of glue dots, and just press that knot into a glue dot, and then you're ready to glue it down to the bottom of this, like so. Okay. All right, so that is done. Now let's go ahead and get the background done. Okay, so I have gorgeous grape cardstock. It's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, and this one is going to be folded like a book. And you're just going to come in and just sharpen that fold with your bone folder. Okay. And then I have, this is the designer series paper that goes with this beautiful painted lavender bundle. And I don't know if you've seen the papers that go with this. Here's kind of a little peek at some of it. I mean, this is just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous paper. Here is one. Here is another one. The back is I want to say that's Lost Lagoon. And then you've got this paper here. It's just beautiful paper. And so we do have that in the catalog as well. You're going to cut this piece, and see that's the back side of this one. You're going to cut this piece at 4 by 5 1/4 and just glue that down flat. And I kind of mimicked the inside with the outside. So you're going to want to cut 2 pieces the same. So you're going to glue the front down like so. And then just go ahead and open it up and glue the second piece down. And then remember that little piece that I said that I went ahead and aged it with crumb cake? Well, that's this little piece here for your message on the inside. And I just glue this down flat. This is a 3 by 4 piece. If you think you're going to write a bigger message or need to write a bigger message, then you can just do a bigger piece. No big deal. Okay? Okay, so the inside's done now. Okay, so now the outside, we're going to use dimensionals and pop that up. So let me find my dimensionals. Okay. And I am dimension happy when I use my dimensionals, because I do not want, if I'm going to spend a lot of time doing my creations and projects to send to people, I'm going to make sure they're going to enjoy it and it's not going to be embarrassing and sag later. So I make sure that all of my dimensions are equally distributed. Because I have learned over time, if you don't put one in the center and you put them on the edges or the corners, the center will sag over time. I used to sell my cards in boutiques here locally, and I found that when I would overcreate and have them left over and go back and look at them and prep them to sell, that they were sagging in the center because I did not properly put adhesives on them. So, lesson learned, to keep you from doing the same thing I did. Okay, so now I have that ready to go. And then all that's left is to add your embellishments. Okay, so with this, here is the fluff, and I'm gonna bring in Tombow. Now, if you wanted to be real extravagant and do like a band of this, then you could use adhesive strip and just go trigger happy and just load it with a whole bunch of it. And it would be very dimensional. And you could do that if you wanted. But I am just coming in and just adding a little bit here and there. And you can ball this up, you know, into little bitty balls if you don't want it as dimensional in some spots as others. And then after this dries, after your adhesive dries, obviously, if you put too much on there, too much fluff on there, it's going to flake off because it wasn't attached to the glue. And that's fine. But you want to make sure, and the way to do that, I'll show you here how you can do that to know what adhered and what didn't. So you're just going to glue that. And this would be the time that if you wear glasses to have them on when you do this, because you're going to find that you put glue down and then you're not going to see your glue spots. Okay, so let me, it's like I have a clog in my glue and it's not coming out. So I'm using a needle and just poking down in there, and now it's ready to go again. Okay, so put that on there. And just, yep. And it's okay just to put big globs because, like I said, it's going to come off if it did not attach. Okay, so, and I see a glue, I see a spot of glue right there. I encourage, if you're going to try this technique, that you do all of your technique, do all your shredding, I guess, or grating, all in the same day, because this does have a little static to it and you might be wearing some of it. And to keep you from being wearing it like 3 and 4 days straight, just go ahead and do it and be done with it. But I find that it's really cool technique, and you know, I love the dimensional part of it. And the person who gets this project is going to think the same thing. They're going to think, wow, how was that done? That is really cool. And I think I might have all of my dots done. I see some shininess right here, so I'm going to put a little bit of something right there. Okay, so as you can see, it is, and if you want it more balled up, just press it into a ball. Okay, and I'm happy with that right there. So, okay, so then after you get that done, you're just going to turn it upside down, and you're just going to flick the back of your card. And as you can see, it's the loose parts is coming off. Okay, so that's just how you're going to do that. So after you've allowed it to dry, then just turn it upside down and flick the back, you know, and then what's loose will come off. So that's how you do that, okay? And then I used the really cute butterflies that are found in the embellishment part of the catalog. And these are our brass polished butterflies. And because I stamped a butterfly, I thought it would be really cute if I put a gold one on there too. So I did just a little one because I didn't want to take away from the actual technique part of this card. And I just placed one right there in the upper corner right there. So, and so here is your card. It's not hard, and it shows some specialty techniques. And so I hope you give this a try, because I really love this technique, and it's really fun, and it's different. You know, sometimes we want something different and kind of, you know, step out of our comfort zone and try something new. So I hope you give this a try, and I hope that I see you in the upcoming videos. I will be doing different stamped images using this fluff technique. So join me in seeing these other cards that I do in the future videos. But for now, have a great day, and I will see you in the future videos. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.